Hello, I'm Steve and welcome back to another masterclass video. Now in the last one I did, people seemed to like it, and one of the things in the comments people said could I do was squeezes, among other things. So what I thought I'd do is a video on squeezes, and these effectively squeezes from scratch. So if you know how to do squeezes, this will just be reminding you of the principles behind it. If you've done one by accident, or your partner said you should have squeezed there and you didn't know what was going on, this is the video for you. We're going to be talking about the requirements for squeezes, how they work, what you need to do, what you need to think about. And at the second part of the video, there'll be a few practice hands where you'll have the opportunity to use what you've just listened to and learnt, hopefully, and have a go at trying to squeeze it yourself. So you pause the video, you try and work out how it would be done on that particular hand, and then I'll go through, again, same sort of thing, not just showing you how to do it, but the reasons and the thought processes behind that. So without further ado, let's go and look at what a squeeze is, how it works, and the requirements we need for one to operate. So here's the diagram I'm going to be dealing with, and to keep it simple, we've got a 3-card ending, so we're not doing it with all 52 cards in play. You can see all the hands, so you can see what's going to happen and who hopefully will get squeezed each time. And we're going to keep the cards the same. So as I go through different possibilities and different things you need to do, we're always going to have these cards. Let's just look at the position we've got. We're in no trumps, as we will be for most of this. We'll keep it simple today. And we have a winning spade. We've got the Queen of Spades. You can see no one can beat that. We've got the Ace of Diamonds. You can see that obviously that's high, and we've got the 3 of Diamonds to get to it. But we haven't got a third trick. So we're going to hopefully make the Queen of Spades and the Ace of Diamonds, but we've got 3 tricks remaining, and what we're trying to do is gain an extra trick by squeezing. So in this particular case, we're just going to follow what happens when we play the Queen of Spades and show you who is squeezed and how it works. And basically a squeeze is where 2 hands, north and south, gang up against 1 hand who can't keep enough cards to guard against both enemies. So they get squeezed effectively in between north and south, and north and south provide too many things for 1 hand to guard. So you can see in this particular case, it's east who's going to get squeezed. You can see east is guarding the King of Clubs, and east is also guarding the 9 of Diamonds. You can see east has got 2 things they have to guard, and when the Queen of Spades is played, west will have to throw a heart, north will have to follow, and we go to east. What will east play here? If they play the Ace of Clubs, you can see now you're going to make the King of Clubs, which is now high because the ace is gone, and you're going to make the last trick with the Ace of Diamonds, and the king is gone. Okay, so we'll go back to the point here. Let's see what happens instead of throwing the Ace of Clubs. What could they throw instead? Well, the only other option is to throw a diamond, so they throw the Queen of Diamonds. And we've been counting. We know the King of Clubs isn't high. We haven't seen the ace. So we play the 3 of Diamonds to the ace. The king falls, and now the 9 of Diamonds is high. Okay, so you can see that at this particular case, with 3 cards to go, where the Queen of Spades is led, east has no recourse. They can't do anything about it. There's nothing they can do. They haven't thrown the wrong card away because there are no right cards to throw away. Let's look at a variation of this where west has the same cards that east have and show you that the squeeze will work in the same case. So you can see all we've done is swapped the east and west cards around. North and south still have the same cards, and we've still led the Queen of Spades. Now it's west who has the King, Queen of Diamonds and the Ace of Clubs, and they're still going to get squeezed in the same case. Just a reminder, sometimes it only works against 1 hand, but in this particular squeeze we've set up, it will work against both. What on earth does West play on the Queen of Spades? They've got the same dilemma that East had on the last time. If they play the Ace of Clubs, they're going to set the King of Clubs up, and then we're going to make the Ace of Diamonds as well. And if they play a diamond, we're going to set up Ace 9 of Diamonds in dummy. Again, you can see that the Queen of Spades holds. The King of Clubs isn't high. We haven't seen the ace being thrown away. So we play a diamond to dummy. And lo and behold, dummy's 9 of Diamonds will win the last trick. So 9, small, discard, discard. So the squeeze will work against both people. So what we're going to look at now is examples of where squeezes won't work. And then by looking at those, we're going to try and see the things we need for a squeeze to work, so that when we're trying to prepare our own squeezes later, we can think about making off a checklist of the 4 things we need for a basic squeeze to work. So the first condition we're going to have a look at, again, we've got the same cards in play, is that for a squeeze to work, it needs to be one of the enemy hands guarding against two threats. So what we mean by a threat is the threat that if they throw the wrong king, that's going to give a winner for declarer. So you can see here the king of clubs is a threat. If someone throws the ace of clubs away, the king of clubs will make an extra trick that it doesn't deserve to make. And the other threat we've got in this case is the 9 of diamonds. And we can see here that West is guarding the club and East is guarding the diamonds. Okay, so in this particular case, because neither West nor East has both threats guarded, okay, they won't be able to squeeze anyone. You need one person to be guarding two things. So we'll just see this being played. You lead the Queen of Spades. West throws a heart away. North throws a spade away. East throws a heart away. Now your King of Clubs isn't good, but neither are your two diamonds. You can make the ace, but you can see that East is guarding the diamonds and West is guarding the clubs. So the first thing we need to do when we're doing a squeeze is we need one person to guard against two threats. That's step one. The second one we're going to look at is to do with losers and winners. And sometimes you might have heard someone saying rectifying the count, and that is the method we're going to do to get to the point we need to get to. You can see earlier that we were looking at a 3-card ending where we had two tricks. And generally, harder squeezes aside, generally, to squeeze someone out of one additional trick, you need the pressure to be on. You need them to have only cards left that are guarding threats. So what you need to do is what's called rectify the count. And that means get to the point where of the remaining tricks, you have all but one. So previously we had two tricks with 3 remaining. We're at the point where we've rectified the count. Okay, but in this particular example, again, we've got the same cards, but everyone's got an extra heart. And you can see that our heart's not a winner. We've got the 2 and the 4, and West has the king. So at this particular case, we haven't rectified the count because we have only 2 tricks of the remaining 4. If we had 2 tricks with 3 to go, we're at the point where we can squeeze someone, but with 2 tricks and 4 to go, we haven't. So you can see what's going to happen here. If we play the Queen of Spades, West, although it looks risky, can safely discard the King of Hearts because East has all these high hearts. So West can discard the King of Hearts. We follow with a spade. East plays a low heart. Now, we haven't actually got any sort of pressure on West. We've played our squeeze card, the card that is hopefully going to squeeze West. But West wasn't squeezed because they had this spare heart they can throw away. Now you can see that the King of Clubs isn't high, the 2 of Hearts definitely isn't high, and the 3 of Diamonds to the Ace will get us another trick, but it won't get us that extra trick we were getting in the other examples. So, step number 2, we need to do something called rectifying the count. And that means get to a position where we have all but one of the remaining tricks. Again, harder squeezes may not need that specific requirement, but for the ones we're doing today, that's what we need to be doing. So the third step might seem quite obvious because for a squeeze to work, we're trying to do 2 hands ganging up against one hand. What you need is an entry between the 2 hands. So one hand that is opposite the squeeze card needs to get an entry. So for all the ones we've been doing, the Queen of Spades is our squeeze card, i.e. the card we play to squeeze the opponents. And after we play this, we need to make sure we have an entry to the opposite hand to cash a winner. Okay, so North might have, in this particular case, North has a diamond threat. We're going to need an entry to North's hand, usually in diamonds, to get to that winning threat, hopefully, if we squeeze the right person. So you can see here, instead of playing the Queen of Spades, if we play a diamond first, it goes Queen, Ace, 2, and then we play a spade to our Queen, small, small, Queen. You can see that West is sort of squeezed here. They can't keep the Ace of Clubs and the King of Diamonds. The 9 of Diamonds will be a winner if they throw the King away, and the King of Clubs will be a winner if they throw the Ace of Clubs away. But you can see now, actually, they can throw the King of Diamonds away because we're stuck in the south hand and we've got no entry to what is now a winning 9 of Diamonds. So step 3, we're going to need an entry after the squeeze card has been played. So what you shouldn't be doing with squeezes necessarily is cashing all your entries to the opposite hand, because then you don't have an entry to anything that you can win after the squeeze is operated. And the last requirement may be a bit harder to visualize, so we're going to see a situation where it works and it doesn't, and I'm going to try and explain what that is. So I've just changed things around slightly. We've given North the King of Clubs instead of South, so you can see North's got the King of Clubs in this case. And we play the Queen of Spades, and in this particular case, it's going to work because West is going to get squeezed in the same way. But now, it depends what West throws away as to what North throws away. For example, if West throws the Ace of Clubs away, our King of Clubs is a winner, so we throw our 9 of Diamonds away. And he discards a heart. Now Dummy's high, it's got the Ace of Diamonds and the King of Clubs. They're going to make the last 2 tricks. Okay, if West threw the Queen of Diamonds away, we would throw the King of Clubs away, and East would throw a heart. And now when we play a diamond to Dummy, Dummy's last 2 diamonds are going to be high. So that's the situation where it works. And what we're just going to do is we're going to swap East and West around like this. So you can see they've been swapped over. And when we play the Queen of Spades now, we're in a dilemma. We play a heart, and now we were in a position earlier where we threw the card away that made us winners after we'd squeezed it. But here you can see what's going to happen is we have to discard first. As North, if we throw the King of Clubs away, East will throw the Ace of Clubs away, and they'll be able to make a diamond trick. You can see when we play a diamond to Dummy, East will make the last diamond trick. And again, instead of throwing the King of Clubs away, if we throw our 9 of Diamonds away, East will throw their diamond away. And now when we play a diamond to the Ace, East has kept the Ace of Clubs to beat the King. So the fourth criteria we need is one of the threats needs to be after, or playing after, the hand that has the threat needs to be playing after the hand that gets squeezed. So if we just go back to the position where the squeeze card's played, here, South has no threat, which means East, the hand before South, doesn't need to guard anything that South's got. In this particular case, both threats are in the North hand, which means we could only squeeze West, but not East. East is playing after the North hand, which means East can just throw the card away that North throws away, and the South has no pressure on East. So the last one is we need a threat over the hand we're squeezing, or after. Some people say under, some people say over. I'm just going to say after. We need a threat in the hand that plays after the hand we're trying to squeeze. So what I would recommend you do now is, if any of that isn't making sense to you, or you need to go over it again, just go back to the criteria, go back to an earlier point in the video and just watch them over again. If it's still finding it hard to see what's going on, get yourself a pack of cards, play them out in front of you, and you play the cards out as I'm going through. Some people sometimes feel it easier to spot with cards in front of them, and try and see it working. What we're going to do now is do a hand where we play this together. I'll talk about through my thoughts. I'll talk about who we're going to squeeze, clues from the bidding, things like that, trying to rectify the count and hit those 4 criteria. And then we'll leave a few quiz ones for you to have a go at and see if you've learnt how to squeeze yourself. So for our squeeze hand, we're going to be in 6 no trumps, vulnerable 6 no trumps. Why not? And we've got some bidding. We can see all 4 hands, so we're going to try and see how it's going to work, and we'll talk about the bidding in a sec. But what I would recommend you do when you're trying to plan your squeezes out is try and visualize the ending you want to get to. At the point where you play your squeeze card, try and visualize the ending you're going to get to, because that's going to make it a bit easier to plan the order in which you play the cards. So in this particular case, West has opened 2 spades, a weak 2 spades. I might have opened 3 with that, but West has opened 2 spades. North bids 2 no trumps. South bid a quantitative 4 no trumps. And North, with a 17 count, better than they could be, bid 6 no trumps. And so you've got to try and make 6 no trumps. And before we see what the opening lead is, we're just going to count our tricks. It's a good thing to do. Count your tricks. You've got 1 spade. You can make the Ace, King, Queen of Hearts, so on 4 tricks. You can make the Ace, King, Queen, Jack of Diamonds. That is 8 tricks. And you've got the Ace, King, Queen of Clubs. That's 11 tricks. So we're going to see what the opening lead is. And before we decide what to do, we're going to get the 4 of spades lead. So East has a spade. And then we can see that because we can see all 4 hands. But East has led a spade, their partner's suit. And we need to try and think about how we're going to make 12 tricks. Now, there's no way for us to legitimately set a second spade trick up. So the only legitimate chance, we can't make an extra heart, we can't make an extra diamond. The only legitimate chance is clubs breaking 3-3. Our club pips aren't very good. We're not going to be able to kind of finesse the jack or anything like that. So we've got 11 tricks off the top, and the only prospect for a 12th trick is a 3-3 club break. So if you took trick 1 with the ace of spades and you tried to cash out and hope the club spoke 3-3, you'd be disappointed here. Because remember, one of the criteria for squeezes is we need to do something called rectifying the count. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do when we're doing this is we're going to play the 8 of spades. Wes is going to play the jack, and a good technique. Now, sometimes you might not be able to spot what the squeeze is, but a good technique, if you think you might need a squeeze for your contract, is to rectify the count as early as possible. So in this particular case, if we take the ace of spades, we've got 11. We'll have 1 trick in the bag. We'll have 10 more tricks with 12 remaining. Okay, and remember that one of the rules for the squeezes is we need to try and get to the point where we have 11 tricks with 12 remaining. Okay, so we're going to do that straight away. We're going to duck trick 1. We're going to play a 2 of spades. And now they've taken a trick, and they were going to get a trick anyway because we only had 11 off the top. They've taken a trick. But we now are at the point where we've got 11 tricks with 12 remaining. We've rectified the count, and that is one of the crucial things you need to be doing if you think there might be a squeeze on a hand, is you need to rectify the count in a place and a time where you can afford to lose a trick. So what you don't want to do is take the ace of spades, then duck a spade, because they'll cash all the spades. But ducking a spade before taking a ace is the best way in this hand to rectify the count. So we've done that, and West plays a spade at trick 2. So what we're going to do is, if clubs break 3-3, doesn't matter. If they don't, is there a squeeze on? Well, we're going to take the ace of spades. East throws a heart away, and we throw a spade away. Now, for a squeeze to be on, a few things need to be the case. We need to have rectified the count. We've done that. We now have 1 trick, so we've got 10 of the remaining 11 tricks. So in that possible, that squeeze zone. We also need 1 person to be guarding 2 things. So in this particular case, the only threats we have are the 10 of spades, because we know West has the queen of spades left still. And we've got effectively the 4th round of clubs. So we can squeeze someone if they're guarding the queen of spades and they have 4 clubs. So they're guarding the 4th round of clubs. When I say 4 clubs, it would also work if they had 5 or 6. But as long as they've got at least 4 clubs, then only 1 hand can guard the queen of spades and the 4th round of clubs. And if that hand has both of those things, we can squeeze them. Okay, we need a threat after the person who's being squeezed. So you can see that North has the 4th round of clubs in our case. So North is discarding after West. So we've got that particular checklist thing done too. So we've rectified the count. We've identified 1 person who's guarding 2 things. We know North is playing after West, so one of the threats is in the North hand, and we need North to have an entry after the squeeze card. So what we need to do is keep North's high clubs as an entry so that we can get to the 4th round of clubs after the squeeze card's been played. So with that in mind, we've got our 4 criteria. We're just going to play winners, and hopefully if we play winners in the right order, without using North's entry up, we can squeeze West in this case. So what we're going to do is we're going to cash our hearts. They're safe to cash. Let's do that. We play a heart. We play another heart. And West throws a spade away. We play another heart. West throws a spade away. We can throw a spade from the North because the 10 of spades is our menace in the south hand, or our threat in the south hand. And now what we're going to do is cash 4 diamonds. But we need to cash 4 diamonds. In this case, actually in any order we want, but we're going to cash 4 diamonds, and we're going to be elegant. We're going to use the ace of diamonds as our squeeze card, I think. So we're going to play a diamond to the jack. We're going to play the king of diamonds. We're going to play a diamond to our queen. And now what we've got is we're going to play the ace of diamonds, and we're going to watch West squirm. We see now in this particular case, when we play the ace of diamonds, West can't keep the queen of spades because they have to keep that to guard the 10. And West can't keep 4 clubs because they have to do that to guard North's 4th round of clubs. So what does West throw? Well, they threw a club just in case maybe partner's got the king of clubs or something weird like that. But it doesn't matter. We've squeezed them. Now, you might think you need to be able to count the whole hand when you squeeze people, but you don't. You just need to see if one of your threats is now a winner. So all we're watching out for in this case is, has someone thrown the queen of spades? Okay, we're just looking to see if our 10 of spades is a winner. Has someone thrown the queen of spades? If no one's thrown the queen of spades, the 10 of spades cannot win a trick. So then what we do is we play in clubs. If we've managed to squeeze them, our fourth round of clubs will be high. Or if clubs are 3-3 all along, our fourth round of clubs will be high. And if there was no squeeze on, there's nothing we can do. We don't need to necessarily count the clubs. We just need to see whether the queen of spades has gone. And it hasn't. So we're going to cash our clubs. King, queen, ace. And you can see now that West was squeezed out of their fourth round of clubs. So our six of clubs wins trick 12. That was a squeeze. It was quite easy to spot. I think there was only one possibility of doing that. But you can see that the important bit about that hand was ducking at trick 1. We needed to rectify the count while we still had the ace of spades. And that was the easiest thing to do. Just duck at trick 1. If you didn't do that, you wouldn't have been able to put any pressure on West because they would have had like a spare spade or something to throw away near the end there. Okay. So what we're going to do now is going to look at a few hands. What I would recommend you do on each hand is pause it, see if you can work out how to do it, and then we'll play through the hand and see if you were right. So now we've seen a full hand where there's a squeeze operating where I led you through it. We're now going to see two hands where you get to pause the video, think about how you would squeeze it and why you're squeezing and who you're squeezing. And then come back and see how we do it. So we've got this hand here. You're the south hand. You overcall East's 1 diamond with 1 spade. Your partner bids 2 diamonds, which is a good raise to at least 2 spades. And over that, you decide to bid 3 spades. You're a bit better than you could be for 1 spade. And you've actually got a pretty good hand, even though you've only got a 12 count. Your suits are really good. And you've got a singleton in a side suit. So you bid 3 spades and your partner accepts the game try and bids 4. So West leads ace of diamonds, and we're going to play it to the point where we gain the lead at a sensible point later in the hand, because the first few tricks are going to be east-west trying to defend and stop you making this. So if you just look at the north-south hands, you've only got 1 spade to lose, you haven't got any hearts to lose, you're looking to lose 2 diamonds and no clubs, so it looks like you've only got 3 losers. You just lose the ace of spades and 2 diamonds, hopefully. We aim to ruff a diamond in the north hand. So what can go wrong? Well, the defense started off quite well here. They led the ace of diamonds, small, small, small. And at trick 2, West found a spade switch, which is now going to threaten your diamond ruff. So this goes spade, small, ace, small. And at trick 3, East played a second spade. They're trying to stop you ruffing a diamond, which is going to be your 10th trick. You're going to make 4 clubs, 4 spades, the ace of hearts, and a diamond ruff. So East plays back a second spade, so we win it in the south hand because we can't not win it in the south hand. And we've got to decide what to do now. Well, there's still a chance that whoever wins the next diamond, for example, it looks like East is likely to have the king and queen of diamonds, they might not have a third spade. So what we're going to do, we don't know who's got the 8 of spades. What we're going to do is try and play a diamond, and if West can't win it and West has the third spade, we're going to be able to get our diamond off. So we're going to go diamond. And East wins with the queen, and East plays a third spade. So now we're going to pause it. So think about how the defense has gone. Rewind it if you need to go through it and see what the hands were initially. But West led the ace of diamonds. They then switched to a spade and have played 3 rounds of spades to try and stop your diamond ruff. So they've stopped your diamond ruff. You're going to win the spade in hand, and you've got to try and plan how you will make it. Now, because this is a video on squeezes, you know there's probably going to be a squeeze somewhere. So think about the concepts we've met so far and think about how you would go about squeezing and which hand you're squeezing. So pause the video now if you want to have a go yourself, and I'll be back in a sec. So hopefully you've had a go. If not, we're going to be talking through the kind of process about what we're going to do. So we're going to win the jack of spades, and West shows out, and West throws a diamond away. So maybe West is guarding hearts and clubs, who knows. We count our remaining tricks. We've got the king, we've got 8 tricks to go. We've got the king, queen of spades, we've got the ace of hearts, and we've got ace, king, queen, jack of clubs. So we've got 7 of the remaining 8 tricks. So the first thing we check if we're going to squeeze someone is we are now at the point where we've rectified the count. There is 1 loser left compared to the number of tricks we have and the number of tricks we have with a squeeze, which is the 8th trick. And what we need to do now is identify 2 threats. So what 2 threats are there? Well, one of the threats is someone's got the king of diamonds. Now, from the bidding in the play, that's likely to be East. It's very likely that East has the king of diamonds for their bid. and West might have flown in with the king of diamonds when you played a diamond to the jack. So it looks like East has the diamonds guarded, and you've got the 10. So even if West has another diamond left, they can't guard them. So what we then need East to do is guard another suit as well. So maybe East is guarding hearts. So if East has the king of hearts, we can squeeze them. The other thing we could do is take a heart for now. So we could play a heart to the queen. Is West likely to have the king of hearts? Well, what's he shown up with for the one diamond bid? The ace of spades, the king, queen of diamonds, that's 9 points. I think East has got to have the king of hearts for their bid. And the last thing we need to consider, because obviously it's a video on squeezes, we are going to do the squeeze, but the last thing you might want to consider in real life is, could you actually ruff enough hearts from the north hand to ruff the king of hearts out? So you could play a heart to the ace and ruff a heart, and if East has king doubleton, we've dropped it, but we can't repeat that. So it's very unlikely East has exactly king doubleton of hearts. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and play for the squeeze. One, it's more fun to do that anyway. So what we need to think about is where the threats are. Now, East is one we think is being squeezed. And if East is the one being squeezed, you need at least one threat in the hand over East. That's the south hand. We've got the 10 of diamonds. And we need to cash tricks in such a way that we retain an entry to the other hand. So we're going to be cashing our winners in the south hand. We're going to be cashing our 6 black suit tricks in the south hand. And then we're going to retain our 8 of hearts to get to North's queen of hearts, which is our threat. So let's see how the play goes. And you can do this in any order you want, but we're just going to be cashing black suit cards. And we're going to be looking for the king of diamonds. So when you're doing squeezes, we'll get to this in a second. We're just going to be looking for the king of diamonds, but I'll talk about that in a bit. So we've got 7 of clubs, small, ace, small, and a second club, small, jack, small. We're going to play a third club, king, small, small, and East discards. So its likelihood is that it looks like East is going to be something like 3-3-5-2, which is a sensible hand. So roughing the king of hearts out wouldn't have worked. But we're going to continue with our plan to squeeze them. We're going to go last club, and East threw a heart away. We're going to go king of spades, and East threw a diamond away. And we're going to go queen of spades, and East threw a heart away. Now, what I said earlier about just looking for one card, what you're looking for is, if you're trying to squeeze East, you're not sitting there counting every single card he has. You're just looking for the king of diamonds. If the king of diamonds is thrown away, you cash the 10 of diamonds, and then the ace of hearts. And if the king of diamonds isn't thrown away and you're playing for a squeeze, you now know that East must have a singleton king of hearts left. So at this point, if the squeeze has worked, we're going to play a heart to the ace, and East's king will fall. Let's check. Yes, it falls, and we make the queen. So we had East squeeze at the end there. You can see if they kept, if we just have a look at the whole hand again, if we go back to the point where they're squeezed, it's on this point here. The queen of spades is this squeeze card. It's the card that squeezes East. And what does East throw away? They have no winning option, a bit like what we've seen so far. If they throw the king of diamonds, you cash your 10. And if they throw the heart, like you saw, we were just checking for the king of diamonds, and we were placing East for the king of hearts. We thought they must have both of them. We played the ace of hearts, and the king fails. It feels a really good feeling when you drop a bad king. And one of the ways to do it is to squeeze them. So here's our final hand. We're the south hand, and our partner opens 2 clubs, which is either 2021 or game borsing. And we decide to bid 2 hearts with our good 5-card suit and 6 count. It's a bit on the minimum side, but I needed south to be the declarer. North bids 3 hearts, and you bid 4. So you're in 4 hearts. East and west don't bid. So some of the other boards we've had indications in the bidding as to who has the length of the points. In this case, we don't. So we need to be a bit sharper with our noses to try and work out where things are. And west leads the 9 of clubs. And you can see dummy. Now, this could be a singleton. This could be, well, it can't be from the 10-9. So this looks likely it's a singleton or a doubleton club, assuming their leads are normal. So we expect the East to have the king and the queen probably. So what was a decent contract at the start doesn't look as good anymore if West hasn't got any club honor. If you think about how we're going to make this, we're going to make 5 heart tricks, 3 diamond tricks is 8, and the ace of clubs is 9. So we need a 10th trick, and we had a few chances here. We have Diamonds breaking 3-3 is one chance. We have the ace of spades on side is another chance. And we had, until trick 1, maybe some favourable positions in clubs was our third chance. But it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. So at trick 1, what we can't afford potentially, if East has the ace of spades, is to go up with the ace of clubs, because then East might be able to cash 2 spades and 2 clubs if we ever have to play a spade to the king. So we're going to let the first club run to East's queen. And if that was a singleton, East could give them a rough, but it's actually with a natural club loser. We're actually not going to win our small club, are we? So what we're going to do now is, well, East plays a heart back, and we win this, and we start drawing trump. So we win with the jack, we play a heart to our big heart in south, and hearts are 4-1. So what we decided to do at this point is test to see if the spades are on side. So potentially we might not have any entries back to the south hand if we don't keep the king of hearts and dummy. If we draw all the trumps now and then we play a spade to the king, we might not be able to get back to the south hand. They might just stick us in the north hand, and then we have no shot but to concede a club and some spades. So what we're going to do now at this point is we're going to play a spade to the king. So we're going to play spade to the king, and it loses. Now if it won, we would have had no problems on that. We would make our 10 tricks, but that's not the case. So East plays a spade back to West's queen, and West plays a second club. So I'm going to pass it over to you now. What it's gone a club at trick 1. So East played a trump. We then drew some trumps, found out they weren't breaking. We played a spade to the king, an ace, and the spade back. So we've already lost 3 tricks, and we need the rest, and I will pass it over to you. Think about how squeezes. We know it's going to be a squeeze because it's in this video, but think about how you do it. Again, if you need a bit of a help, just go back to the start of the hand and watch the playthrough again. Just pause it now, have a go, and I'll be back with you in just a moment. So hopefully you've had a chance to do it yourself, but we're in this position and we do our usual thing. So we need the remaining number of tricks. So we need the next 8 tricks, and we have 3 hearts, 3 diamonds, and the ace of clubs. We have 7. So we're already at the point where we've rectified the count, thankfully. Harder squeezes, potentially you might have to do some things to rectify them yourself, but in this particular case, we're actually at the rectified count. Second thing is, we need to think about, if there is a squeeze, who it's against. Well, bear in mind that we can still make it if diamonds are 3-3. So we can't kind of do something that goes against that. But if diamonds aren't 3-3, that's one of your threats. And the other threat's going to be the king of clubs. You can see that you've got no spades in either hand, so they can't be threats, and all your hearts are winners. So your threats are your diamonds and your clubs. And we need to decide who we're going to squeeze. Well, if we assume that the 9 of clubs at trick 1 was true, we know that it's likely that East has the king of clubs. So because West isn't guarding clubs, if West has 4 diamonds, we can't squeeze anyone because the threats will be against 2 different players. So what we need is, we need East to have the king of clubs, and we need East to have any 4 diamonds. It doesn't matter whether they include the jack or not, or whether they include the 10 or not. We just need them to have any 4 diamonds. Even 5 would do. Is that likely? Yeah, I mean, East didn't have many hearts. East only had 1 heart. So maybe East is something like 4-1-4-4, which seems sensible, something like that. So it looks like it's East we're going to be squeezing. So we've identified the threats, we've rectified the count. What we need to do is check on entries. The squeeze card is likely to be hearts. We're going to probably play our winning hearts in the south hand, and we need to check our entries. So if the squeeze cards are in the south hand, does North have any entries? Yes, it does. It got loads of entries. And the last thing we need to check, if it's East we're squeezing, one of the threats needs to be in the hand that's after East, which in this case is the south hand. Okay, so does the south hand have a threat? Yes. If we can somehow unblock the clubs so that North's ace of clubs is gone and we throw the rest of North's clubs away, the 10 of clubs in the south hand is going to be high. So although it looks like the jack of clubs is the threat, actually it's going to be the 10 of clubs in the south hand, because otherwise it wouldn't work. Remember, one of the rules for squeezes is you need one of the threats to be over the person you're squeezing, or after the person you're squeezing. Okay, so we're now going to play it out. We've talked about it, and remember, our line is not going to give up on diamonds being 3-3. We're still going to try and cash our winners. And the card we're looking for, again, you don't need to count East's exact shape. The card we're looking for is the King of Clubs. If by the time we've cashed our squeeze card and no one's thrown the King of Clubs, we're going to play on diamonds. And either they were 3-3 all along, or we've squeezed them because they had to keep the King of Clubs. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to 5 of clubs. We're going to win with the ace. And because we kept our King of Hearts, we're able to get back to the south end by playing the King of Hearts and overtaking. And remember, West has another trump left. So what we're doing now is we're drawing West's trump. And we're throwing clubs away. We can't throw a diamond away from the north hand because the 2 of diamonds is our threat. If someone's got 4 diamonds, we're threatening to make the 2 of diamonds as our last diamond. So they've got to keep the 2 of diamonds in the north hand, which forces East or West to keep 4 diamonds. Okay, and on the last heart, in theory, we're going to throw the Jack of Clubs. And you can see now we've got the 10 of clubs in the south hand and 4 diamonds in the north hand. And in theory, East is squeezed. Well, what they did on the actual hand is they threw the King of Clubs away. They were playing their partner to have the 10 of clubs and they were keeping 4 diamonds. But you can see it doesn't matter what they throw away. They threw the King of Clubs away. We cash the 10 of clubs and we make 3 winning diamonds. But if they threw a diamond away, we would have made 4 diamond tricks in the north hand. So some people think you need to count the whole hand at squeezes. It's a good habit to do anyway, but all you need to do for a lot of squeezes is just look for one key card. If that card hasn't appeared, you play for the other threat to be established. Okay? Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. I've been Steve, and if you like these masterclass videos, please comment below. Do you want another squeeze video? Is there another topic you think I can talk about? Is there something you want to improve upon that someone said that you're not very good at or something like that? Any of those cases here, if there's just something you're interested in, I've never seen one of these, I want to know what they are, let us know in the comments below. Which of the hands was your favourite? Did you solve all 3 hands, or did this video help you? Anyway, I've been Steve, and I will see you all in the next one.